Good morning, Minnesota DFLers, and welcome to the DFL Daily. Richard Harbaugh, I'm here, chair of the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party. So great to be with you each and every morning at 10:45. As we today head up to Moorhead, I'm doing a town hall, or not a town hall, sorry, I'm doing a farmers roundtable with Senator Rob Kupek and our candidate for Congress up there, Eric Osberg. And then we're heading over to the Clay County annual Langseth fundraiser, which is going to be a working families picnic today in Moorhead at 5 p.m. Great to be on the road the day after a primary. You can go to dfl.org/events and get all the information on the events coming up. All right, folks. Last night in Minnesota was an epic primary election, and today we start the general election. November 3rd, 2026 is 83 days from now, and we have to do everything we can to make sure that we elect Democrats up and down the ballot. Yesterday, voters went to the polls and they chose candidates who will win in November and bring down costs for working families. I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you so much to everyone on this call who knocked on a door, made a phone call, put up a yard sign, helped us spread our word through your social media channels. You all are part of a massive army that helped deliver an incredible primary election turnout. Last night just wasn't about who's on the ballot in November. It was proof that when we organize together, DFLers will win together. Every single one of our DFL endorsed candidates, let me say this, every single DFL endorsed candidate from U.S. Senate down to the state house won their primary election yesterday. The Minnesota DFL backed up 100% of our DFL endorsed candidates. I don't know the last time that's ever happened. I'm incredibly proud of our unified vision for Minnesota and our ability to deliver for Minnesota this November. Minnesotans shattered the turnout record. Over 1.1 million Minnesotans showed up to submit a ballot in the primary election. That's the largest number of votes cast in a primary in state history. Over 697,000 of those were cast for the DFL primary, also a record. Over 63% of voters chose to cast their ballot on the DFL side of the ticket. 63% of people who showed up yesterday in the primary election voted with the DFL. That's what happens when DFL caucuses, county and local unit conventions, the state convention and the primary all point in the same direction. So let's talk about who Minnesotans chose. Amy Klobuchar has built credibility with Democrats, independents, and moderate Republicans by consistently working across the aisle to get results for Minnesotans. The difference in yesterday's gubernatorial primary was Minnesotans chose Amy Klobuchar because they know they can count on her to deliver. Minnesotans know her and they know her record. They know they're not going to fall for negative attack ads against her. Klobuchar is running to deliver results and to root out fraud, lower costs, and make life more affordable for Minnesotans and expand our economy. Senator Klobuchar's experience as a former prosecutor who ran the largest prosecutor's office in the state is valuable for taking on fraud. She's taking the issue head on. She has put together a serious, comprehensive plan for how to root out fraud, starting with a top-to-bottom audit of state government on day one of her administration. We're going to link to that plan right now in the chat, and you should share it with folks. Then Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. She won the DFL nomination for U.S. Senate last night, the DFL endorsed candidate coming through a competitive primary. Flanagan has served as lieutenant governor since 2019. She was raised by a single mother in St. Louis Park, and her family counted on Medicaid, SNAP, and housing assistance to get by. In office, she has helped pass paid family and medical leave and universal school meals for kids. And let me say this about Lieutenant Governor Flanagan. When she was at the Children's Defense Network, she chaired the effort to raise the minimum wage and index it to inflation. She also started the campaign for paid family medical leave 10 years before it was finally passed in 2023. That's the kind of commitment you can count on in Lieutenant Governor Flanagan. As soon as the results were announced last night, Angie Craig offered her full and complete endorsement. Angie knows it is going to take everything we have to defeat Michelle Tafoya and the influx of dark money that is going to back Tafoya. So let's play a clip from last night if we can.
In that spirit, I just called the Lieutenant Governor to congratulate her on her hard and offer her my full and complete support going forward. commitment to Minnesota and her dedication to improving the lives of everyone around her. Peggy's story is one of grit, of determination, and resolve. The election was a choice between two women, and it's a great damn day to see women running even against each other.
Wow. A heartfelt thank you to U.S. Representative Angie Craig for that call for unity in our party. I texted her this morning and expressed the same. Her graciousness and her drive towards unifying our party is something I deeply appreciate, and I'm sure you all do as well. Both Peggy and Angie are proud DFLers, and they both love Minnesota. This is a coalition that we need to build. Minnesotans need us to stand united against Michelle Tafoya, Lisa Damoth, and Donald Trump. Peggy laid out what's at stake last night. Let's play that clip.
Now, I just got off the phone with Congresswoman Craig, and she assured me that she is in this fight with us. And look, it is no secret that Congresswoman Craig and I haven't seen eye to eye on everything. And that's okay, because that's what primaries are all about. We are both proud Democrats, both proud DFLers, and we love this state. And we both know that we just can't hand Donald Trump another Senate seat. And I want to be very clear that to everyone who voted for Angie Craig, I appreciate that you made your voice heard, but I also want you to know this, that I will work my tail off to earn your votes and, most importantly, your trust. Because I need you in this fight. Minnesota needs you in this fight. Because Donald Trump has cost our state far too much already. And we are not about to give Donald Trump another loyal soldier like Michelle Tafoya to take his orders and do his bidding. Michelle Tafoya was all in with Trump when ICE was terrorizing our neighbors. She even said ICE treated really well. Well, Michelle, tell that to Liam Conejo Ramos. Tell that to the parents who were disappeared. Tell that to the kids who don't know where their mom or dad are right now. Because the last thing this country needs is to give Donald Trump another yes, sir, senator. Trump cut 15 million people off of their health care, and Michelle Tafoya said, yes, sir. Tax breaks for billionaires? Yes, sir, you betcha. Yes, sir. An illegal war that's costing us billions? Michelle Tafoya said, yes, sir, Mr. President.
That's right. We don't need a yes, sir Republican in the Senate or behind the governor's desk. We need to make sure that we are electing people who are going to stand with Minnesotans instead of standing with Donald Trump. That's the clear choice Minnesotans are going to have up and down the ticket. I also want to highlight that we had competitive, we had primaries in the 1st, 2nd, and 8th congressional districts. Congratulations to Jake Johnson, Trina Swanson in the 8th, and then Matt Little in the 2nd, all winning their primaries by wide margins. Way to build the kind of coalition you need in order to beat your Republican incumbents in the 1st and the 8th, and then obviously keep the 2nd district in DFL hands. We saw all across all 13 statewide and federal primaries, the DFL endorsed candidates won every single one. As I said earlier in the call, every single candidate that the Minnesota DFL endorsed, from State House to U.S. Senate, won their primary yesterday. That's a unified party. We win, and we win. and will continue. The contrast to what happened on the other side last night couldn't be clearer. The Republican Party's own endorsed candidates for governor, Senate, state auditor all lost their primaries badly. Think about that. While DFLers are united behind our endorsed slate, from the caucus room all the way to the ballot box, Republicans couldn't even get their own voters to back the candidates their party chose. That's not a party that's unified around a message. That's a party in disarray, divided, chaotic, and unable to agree on who should even represent them. In fact, their major candidates for governor and U.S. Senate who lost last night are refusing to back the nominee coming out of the primary election. Meanwhile, Donald Trump and Republicans across the country are pushing an agenda that is making life more expensive and more uncertain for families. And their own primary voters just told them they don't trust the Republican Party to carry that message. That's the choice Minnesotans are going to see between now and November. A unified DFL fighting for affordability, freedom, and working people. This is a Republican Party that can't unite behind itself and will only stand with Donald Trump. That's really something else. Democrats are united behind Minnesotans. Republicans can only find unity in Donald Trump. One thing I want to remind everyone on this call, the primary now is over, and we're not going to take our foot off the gas. I told our team at 8 o'clock this morning, the general election has begun. We have 83 days and 12 hours until polls close at 8 p.m. on November 3rd. I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to sleep a little bit, hopefully, at some point. But we're not going to take our foot off the gas. We need to do everything we can to get our candidates across the finish line. And I want to be honest with you. It's not going to be easy. Lisa Demuth won the primary election yesterday because one billionaire from Wisconsin put more than $3.5 million behind her. That one cheesehead from Wisconsin is trying to buy the governor's office in Minnesota. And it's going to require us to raise more money than we've ever raised before, to stand behind Senator Klobuchar, to ensure that we can overcome this one billionaire from Wisconsin between now and November. It's important that we come together around our shared priorities, bringing down costs, protecting our fundamental freedoms, and building a future in a Minnesota that works for working people. Minnesotans want leaders who understand what people are dealing with in their everyday lives. That's what we put on the door repeatedly. They want to know that their government is working for them and continuing to improve. We're so fortunate to have Senator Klobuchar at the top of the ticket, and now Peggy Flanagan, Keith Ellison, Steve Simon, Zach Filipovich, and Ben Shire alongside her to fight for a government that works for everyone. So here's what we need from you next. We're unveiling our brand new Facebook banner live right now, exclusively on this call. Take a look at the slide deck. We're with you. That's the Democratic message. We're with you, Minnesota. They are with Donald Trump. I need everyone on this call to share this, post it, make it your banner on Facebook. Let's get this out there far and wide. We're with you, Minnesota. The Republicans are with Donald Trump. That's as simple as that between now and Election Day. Thank you again for voting, and congratulations to all of our DFL candidates. We have 83 days until the November 3rd midterm elections. We're going to do this together. We're building this massive coalition. And as a result, we're going to win up and down the ballot and deliver that largest electoral defeat of a sitting president in the history of Minnesota midterms. Let's go win this thing. We'll see you tomorrow.